everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. This is our first episode after our short break, which is actually our second episode for season two, but we decided we needed a break, so we took a break. I think it's been about 2 months, and we're back. So this time, before we get started, I wanted to let everybody know. I mentioned it in the chat, and I didn't hear anybody disagree with it. But instead of doing like one central topic for episodes, I think that each of us need to come with our own talking points and discuss what we want to talk about. You know what I mean? At each one at a time.
Yeah, I think that's fine, but I think we should probably propose our own topic ahead of time so that the other people can,
Yeah,
collect some.
I know at the moment I haven't got any topics.
Yeah.
Well,
As you can see, it's been quite a busy day for me.
in that aspect though, like if you don't have to come with a topic if you want to, like
Right,
say
Yeah,
something off about what somebody else has brought to the table, then make your comments and stuff. I mean,
hmm
I didn't mean for any of that to be like written in stone. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
That's
Mm.
I was suggesting, Dave, that I was gonna giving you a heads up that I was gonna talk about the Mine Loco install, but
well, it
I
was
can
like
talk a little bit about it briefly, but then I wanna do the grand, you know, the grand,
I'm really interested to know how far you got
that's
on.
yeah.
grand wizard.
Do it with
Well,
using
it's
the
it's
old machine.
Give us a little tidbits because I've been curious about it too. Because
it's been a roller coaster of problems here and there, right? And it was expected. I have machines with old hardwares, and mine runs on virtualization technologies, right?
Yeah,
So
doctor. Is it
Docker,
doctor?
yeah,
Is it,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think what I came up with is a complete roadblock where it's trying to install, it's trying to execute some Docker command, and it's just not supported by the hardware architecture. I can
Okay.
give you a,
Uh,
can give
something
you a,
I've been thinking. Sorry, something I've been thinking about is to I've upgraded this machine, this workstation, within the last couple of months, and stuck a 2 terabyte hard drive in it, and upgraded it to 64 gigs of RAM. It's
mm,
62 according to what we reported. And I was thinking about creating a few VMs in there for that purpose.
that would be cool. I mean, if that's the only
Mm.
machine you have, I'm my
With
next
acid capacity.
My next step is to actually go with the VM to create a VM off of my workhorse machine, dedicate like
Mm.
16 of RAM to it, and set it up there. And if that works, I want to do something. I don't want to hog tied up my work machine for this kind of stuff too much. But if that
That's
was the
why I
proof of,
suggest VM. Yeah,
well,
sticking a VM
the
and then.
VM is on my box. It's on my
Oh,
dev. So it's still taking up half of the resources, right? So
mhm.
it's noticeably slower when the VM is up.
now I just
Uh,
recently found something out, Tan, when it comes to my graphics and everything.
yeah.
Now the guy I always bounce my ideas off of, freaking, he told me that freaking with my build on my computer, I was fine with it. But what I needed to do was double my freaking RAM. And he said for good graphics and everything to go from 16 gigs to freaking 32 gigs on the RAM sticks. So if I was you, I would probably go with 32 gigs instead of
Get more
16.
RAM. I already had 32 gigs of RAM on
Okay,
my
all right,
my
good.
machine,
Yeah,
but it might want more if I
My
want to.
my my problem at the moment is all the other machines I've got. or have a maximum of something like 4 gigs. You have a couple of machines there that are got a maximum of 2 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, but
So
you're
obviously not suitable for that job.
you're not into the graphics and stuff either though. So like those graphics will
Yeah,
eat you alive.
yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, server administration, you don't need to worry about graphics. As long as you can get text input,
Hmm.
because
Give you an idea of what I was going through. Let me show you. Let me see if I can
I have to screen share.
screen share. Uh, this one. You seeing this? You
Yeah, I can
seeing
see
my
it.
it's black.
puppy terminal window?
I can see it.
It's totally
Uh,
black as far as I'm
Okay,
concerned.
so let me show you my
Oh shit.
uh, hardware config here. All right, so this is a Hewlett Packard old. It's a I don't know what it is. Like Pavilion uh, P6000 series, and it's got 4 gigs of RAM originally. I just added 4 more to it, so now it's got
Yeah.
8 gigs. But it's got
Oh yeah.
AMD Phenom 2 processor, which is like ancient, right? It it can
Yeah.
do virtualization, but I think that like there's new virtualization technologies that are being used by Docker that this guy is not supporting. So when I
Uh,
try,
the hardware should be supporting VT/I, if I remember rightly, which is the allows for things like QEMU and XM to take control of some hardware devices. And if I remember rightly, we were looking at this machine about 2, 3 weeks ago. I reckon it was about dating around 2012.
okay, this might be around there. It has XT virtualization, I think, but there's might be something this newer stuff that is that Docker needs. So let
Docker
me show
doesn't
you.
need hardware. It's a type
I
two
know, I know, I know.
virtualization.
Docker
Yeah, it
is
doesn't
a
need.
virtualization container, but it needs to
Yeah,
make use of some virtualization hardware that supports some instructions that it
yeah,
needs.
yeah. It uses virtualized hardware, so things like
Yeah.
graphics cards that will virtualize and network cards that will virtualize. Unlike Type One, which would actually be or is able to take over the actual physical hardware.
It's
I'm
pretty.
showing you a I'm showing you a log of my mind's install command and
Again, I cannot see anything on your screen.
can you see?
Yeah, I can see
No,
it.
no,
I can see it.
I definitely
Right
can't.
now it's cleaning up. So now
What
it's
is
set.
clicking up?
Now
Could,
it's setting up.
I think it could be my fault because I moved over from Xorg
There we
X11 to
go.
Wayland
See,
just in last week, and
it cleans up.
yeah, I know there is issues with screen sharing and Wayland at the moment.
Yeah, let me see on Roger's stream. What is this rendering? I'm just basically playing back the install log for
Yeah,
mine.
pretty
Okay.
pretty much.
You see, it's going through install. It's building up the apps, building the TypeScript server, and it's gonna do
Um,
some cleanup, doing some Elasticsearch provisioning, and then at some point, installing mine is just gonna fail.
no,
I
that
think
right there, I didn't know you was talking about like installing the actual entire Mind server onto
I'm
the
installing
computer.
the actual Mind server. What do you think I was talking
I
about?
thought you was talking about like freaking starting an account or using freaking Mind
No,
server
man.
and shit.
I'm not using
And
I'm not using their Minds network thing because that costs money.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean,
something
like
that has surprised me,
just getting
something that
on
has
there.
surprised me, is that all the frameworks are being served on the same server.
Yes, yes,
There's
they are.
a split. There isn't.
You can split them up, but the simple install is just to install everything on one server.
I
Well,
mean, I would have no authentication, if possible. If possible, you'd have no authentication database on the same server as the web server.
well, I know you helped me
Uh,
out, Tan, whenever you were talking about the HTML the other day. Like, when we were talking about doc types and everything. Like,
Mhm.
I've never, well, since HTML came out, freaking, I've never really taken a serious chance on, or, thought of trying to set up a website and everything. And then you was telling me about what was it, freaking
ex, ex,
XHTML.
yeah.
That, I mean, and even then, after you told me about that, it was like I found out that you have to freaking set it up in a different. It has to be or XHTML, uh, uh, HTML MIME type
Mm-hmm.
or
Are you
text.
talking about the doc type?
Yeah.
XHTML is the default, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, generally speaking, when you're using Apache or Nginx, I think you can configure it from the server's own configuration.
And the thing I was checking into it too, whenever I was talking to you guys about the what was it, the Canonical URL. I,
Okay.
I found that interesting
Yeah,
too because like with the canonical URLs, that's what they use for like whenever people are streaming and they're using freaking algorithms and HTML or not HTML, but uh,
I
basically
don't think
trying to
I've
get.
ever used it. Um, I don't think I ever used the chemical metadata tag.
Yeah.
It's just a never optional, not fairly useful tag these days.
Well,
Okay.
it's actually
All right.
useful because it
Okay. Okay. So I'm at the end of my install log and look at the error it's giving, right?
yeah.
Illegal
What's
instruction for dump error code 132. So yeah. So and 132 Docker return code. I think it's like a instruction not found or illegal
exit
instruction.
code?
So
Yeah,
yeah,
just
that's
new.
that for the hardware. But um, I'm still going. I'm not giving up. I'm gonna switch to the virtual machine. I'm gonna try it there, and my goal is to set up my own node of Minds. Right? It's like Minds Network, except not hosted by
Technically,
Minds.com.
is it a node? Technically, is it just a single instance rather than a
Yeah,
node?
it's an instant. It's a node in the Fediverse. Yes, it's going to participate
Okay.
in the Minds network. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a user on my server will have its public address that is reachable from Minds.com, and just add a user in there as another user on the Fediverse, right?
Have
Uh-huh.
you thought about firewall security? If
Yeah,
you're going
I
to
punched a
make
I
payment, yeah.
I punched a hole through my firewall so that SSH and HTTPS is accessible from the internet, and I've
Uh,
tested
mainly,
SSH
yeah, port 443 would be the most
for free
important
and port
port.
22. Yep. SSH is
I,
just
I
for my
always,
doing stuff
yeah,
offsite.
I always
And
change the SSH number because it's just part of the
yeah,
security sort of process.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good idea, but I'm I'm itching to see who would be hacking it. So I'll be monitoring the log just to see.
Especially on the Fediverse. I mean, you got to be pretty pathetic if you're hacking some shit on the Fediverse. You know what I mean?
No, I mean if people are hacking your server, that means you're kind of popular, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I have done with all my SSH sessions is to secure them not only with a password. I
Right.
didn't worry about the certificate security, but I did add Google's TLTP libraries.
Okay. To which
So
of your server? Do you have it now?
yeah,
You're still using it now?
so
Okay.
if you try to SSH into it, it will ask you for a password, and then it will ask you for a one-time verification number.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah, it can I can get to that if it gets more complicated. For now, I don't feel the need
Yeah.
to get overly complicated.
Just make it to where freaking it takes and does
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
like a freaking facial recognition, or maybe shoots a ray into your eyeball.
Like retina scanner.
Yeah, like the good old days when we watched those sci-fi movies and they said they were going to have this and that, and then they didn't come out with shit. You
Uh,
know.
uh, yeah.
You just got me thinking. Could you incorporate Windows Hello into an SSH session?
Windows Hello.
Yeah, you know, the sort
You
of
just
facial
crashed my
recognition.
mind. You just crashed my brain. I'm on a Linux system and you're throwing in Windows Hello.
Hello.
I did come, I have come across a sort of Windows Hello type thing for Linux,
Right.
which allows it to be incorporated into the, the standard user accounting system.
Mm.
Did you hear the cool mix I freaking put on the chat the other day? Dude went and freaking did a freaking music mix with the sounds from Microsoft.
Okay. I saw your video, or I saw a thumbnail. I
It
didn't
was,
have to look at it.
it was out. It's been out for a while, but it was the error reports. He actually made a freaking song out of the error reports that you get from Windows and shit. So
Yeah, I think I've seen people have done that before.
it's pretty cool.
You're
Starting from
using
Windows
a Windows
95
X.
on to
You were
the
using
latest, or
90. Yeah, you were either using XP or 90X.
Yeah, I think it
yeah.
was XP. So
No, or same generation. Anyway.
there's one thing I do want to ask you guys. Okay, and this thing that I ran into is about Quarks mode. From what I hear from it, like websites actually use Quarks mode on purpose. Is that true?
As far as I know, it is only related to rendering older browsers, so rendering from what I read, it was things like rendering old versions of IE.
Yeah,
Browsers.
yeah,
So,
I don't know
and
too much
Netscape
about it, but it's I think it's for backward
HTML1
compatibility
and 2.
with
I believe it's
IE4
only
or IE5.
HTML1.
That's
Yeah,
really old
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
HTML1. Yeah.
Yeah, I know they were talking about it being from the old days, back when computers, before they started using HTML and stuff. So,
No, it was
Yeah,
HTML, right?
I don't think you
I
have to
think
worry about that.
if I remember rightly, it wasn't until IE6 before HTML2 was incorporated.
hmm well, that was one of the reasons why I was worried about the doc type and everything, because I do remember with HTML, it was important to have your doc type defined. You know what I mean? And
It's
that's
just no, I think it's no longer really necessary, even though it is a part of W3C's, the World Wide Web Consortium's RFT documentation. RFC documentation. I don't think it's really necessary anymore.
okay. I was wondering that. I know that what I found out with that XHTML that Than was talking about, like you don't have to worry about the doc type if it's freaking what was it HTML plus XML or some shit.
X,
Or,
yeah,
yeah.
no.
But like
Again, I think that's can be configured at the server level. If I remember Apache's configuration, and you can just change that at the server level in the server configuration file and ignore that completely. And I think the default in Apache, possibly in engines I'm more familiar with Apache, is HTML slash XHTML.
yeah, I
I
was
think I think your stream is kind of pretty laggy, Roger. So maybe probably a good idea to have that recording.
yeah, I've got it recording. It's recording at the same time.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
I've got it recording to make sure. Um, and I hate when I do that. Yeah, I have to go on or I have to switch off there and it makes the screen go dark. So I'm trying to not do that. But yeah, I've been keeping a tab on everything, make sure that it's good to go. Cause so yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
That was the thing that I was talking about with that, and the another thing that I did notice on there too is I went through and I actually looked at like freaking because I got curious and I just went in and I pulled up a freaking free Meta SEO inspector app that you can put on any browser. And I went and
Yeah.
I looked at a lot of these profiles, man, and you'd be amazed with how many freaking profiles really do things like just sloppy and shit. You know what I mean? Like when I was looking at mines, for example, okay, and
Mm.
there when I was messing around with websites, I always knew that there was low priority and high priority, and when it comes to where you put things on your website or your pages and
Mm.
stuff. And like they've got like crap loads of stuff that's high priority that aren't really placed where they need to be on the frickin' the on your profiles and everything, you know. And it's been a while since I've
This is
done stuff like that, but
yeah. This is the reason why I did create the MCRSI .org site back in 2018. Because at the time, mine's SEO was absolutely non-existent in reality. So I decided to create this sort of satellite site just to shuffle users over.
Did you help them improve the SEO, Mark? Or
No, I've not really looked at it. I know there's been improvements, but Bill at the time was making the excuse that it was all Google's fault. Google's locking them, when in reality it was SEO issues around.
and see that's the thing that goes back to what I've been saying. I'm getting frustrated with this open source versus not open source shit, and I know you're a big proponent of it or advocate of it, whichever one, Mark. But you know what I mean. I'm just it, as a person who does stream, you know what I'm saying? It's really frustrating because like these VoIPs, okay? I as somebody who uses them, I don't have a choice in which voice or VoIP I get to use. You know what I mean? Usually, whenever somebody like uses freaking Discord, and I want to get like an interview from them, I have to use
Mm-hmm.
Discord.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, or Skype, vice versa.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
And
so
then some people will stay away from Microsoft altogether, and if you want to interview them, you have to cater to them.
you know,
Yeah,
but
was Mr. Robot that had the
oh
issue
god,
with Skype?
yeah.
Yep,
He
yep.
has an
Yeah.
issue with everything. He thinks the CIA is infiltrating freaking Discord, and I found
Yep.
out he's not the only one. There's more people that believe that stuff. They just, well, you know, I mean, if they are, I mean, what site are they not freaking infiltrating? You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
so
Yeah. Um.
yeah. This is why I'm a fan of using self-hosted sort of material.
Anyway,
Frameworks.
open source is good, but I mean, there's a certain amount of trust that you put in when somebody says their software is open source, right?
yeah.
When's the last time you
Mm,
actually look at the source code and
yeah, but you could say that about any. Do you trust Microsoft and Microsoft Windows?
Right.
well,
Do
yeah.
you trust
So I mean,
Mac
if I used
OS?
it, then I'd have to, yeah. But that's what that's what I'm saying. Even though they say it's open source, you 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 are trusting somebody to just because they're saying it's open source that it's all up and up and there's no underhanded
Oh,
logic
you know
there,
there
right?
is. You know there is. Like, okay, I use
Oh,
Blender, which
no, it
everybody
depends.
claims is open source. But
Mm.
me
Mhm.
and Mark went through and we looked at the sponsors and the amount of people that are or the companies that are freaking supporting it. You know,
Right.
when you
just because just because you've got private companies supporting products doesn't mean that the products
huge,
themselves are not open source.
huge companies, okay, and
Yeah, but you could say that about Android. You could say that about a lot of Linux
Yeah,
distributions.
but are the other sponsors uh questionable sponsors or are they
yeah,
just, you know,
Adobe,
just normal?
Adobe, the
Okay.
biggest crooks on the internet. I mean, if if
Okay.
if I'm wrong, quote me or set me straight there, but you know what I mean? Who's the biggest freaking open source thief out of the whole bunch?
I wouldn't call it a thief because that's the point of open source, isn't it?
Well, it
Right,
is.
right.
It is if they want to go in and they want to use it and then make it free. But you know, when they take freaking open source content and then they create something and charge you for it, and then you get in trouble because you want to use the same thing later on, you know.
Depends on the specific license. Not all open source are copyleft license agreements.
Hmm.
Take the MIT and the BSD license agreements. It, initially, it is copy left. Anybody can copy it, but you can add additional code to that and not provide that additional code.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, it depends on the license agreements. The GPL, the GNU GPL and AGPL licenses, you've got to disclose everything
So that
technically.
so that means anybody who uses it has to go through and read it carefully because they're going to catch on to them basically trying to screw you because they left one piece out.
I've, I've, I've actually got a blog post discussing, explaining about different licenses. If I can find it.
Or any business organization who is looking to use open source software is definitely have to have their legal department scour through the open source license to make sure they're, you know, they're
But
okay.
arguably, any company that's using any software should be looking at through the end user license agreement.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, for people who pay for proprietary software, there are license agreements they explicitly have to sign. So of course they have to go through
Mm.
them, right? Uh, but for open source, it's more of a like do your own due diligence kind of thing.
Actually, think of all those SMEs that have got this sort of end-user mentality that would just tick the box and ignore the license agreement.
Yeah, I
Seen
know.
that done
Those
many
people,
times.
those people suck.
They're sick. Oh wait, me.
Yeah, most users.
throw
Why do you think I always go on the rant of
throw the receipt away. We don't need that shit.
end user
Sick
license?
bastards, those guys.
Okay, so that was the thing about open source that really kind of burns my hide. You know, like just the fact that like I have to use any resource I can get. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to me if it's open source or if it isn't open source. I mean, because
Right.
it gets kind of frustrating when you always have to deal with that, especially with people who are freaking on mines. Mine's freaking members are nuts, man. Every single one of them are. You know.
Yeah. I've seen a few of them.
I just added a reference in the chapter referring to that open source Creative Commons and license agreements blog article that I wrote back in May 2018.
I can
Okay.
pop that open real quick. Maybe get it on the
That-
stream.
Up that in the chat.
Get it on the stream too.
Get on the stream, yeah.
That way people can see it. I'll scroll down too a little bit. Show
This-
you.
This open source versus proprietary discussion is a never-ending discussion. You never get to the end of it.
Well,
But generally, I think proprietary software people are the vendors are more obligated to support what they sell. So the quality is usually a little better, with some exception. And again, with open source, generally the quality is worse, with some exception, right? Like Linux. Linux is very good quality, but a lot of other open source software, they're like,
remember, when you say Linux, you're only talking about the kernel. The
Yes.
operating system is not
yeah, you're
Linux.
right. You're
Well-
right. And then the distribution itself, the vendors support them, and they make a business model out of it. And so, yeah.
I was so happy the day I left Linux. I mean, it was like when I don't like Windows all that much, but like the moment I installed Windows back in, this like freaking huge weight of hell had just released. I could feel it just all that
Really?
bottled up pain and suffering just vanished.
What was the pain that you were encountering in Linux?
Everything.
Typing so much, rigor mortis.
Everything, man. My fingers were ready to fall off. You know, I mean, it was torture. You know,
Okay.
and I conned myself into believing that freaking it would be a different experience this time. This was like second or third time I've used Linux, and like I forgot both of the second and third time how horrible freaking Linux was. You know what I mean? It's like the worst experience you could have for a computer. Now, if you want to play
No, it is.
around, if you want,
If you were-
There's plenty
If
of
you were click and drag kind of a guy, then yeah.
yeah, I mean,
there's
well, there's
plenty of these out-of-the-box distributions, Linux Mint or Chronicles you've been to.
now Mint is
They're user-friendly, out-of-the-box sort of
Yeah,
distribution.
Red Hat is one of the first GUI vendors that have.
Depends on which version of Red Hat, because remember they do sort of corporate enterprise.
Yeah,
They
that's
have
right,
Red Hat Enterprise as well.
well,
yes,
Mint
which-
does too, though. You got to remember that. I mean, if you want to be
Mint-
fair, Mint does.
Mint doesn't do things like server enterprise contracts.
Ubuntu also has the server professional edition that you pay for now.
That's why you go
Do
with
they also
Ubuntu.
do actual contracts, maintenance contracts and support contracts?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and then you get on the like on demand update or something like that, or
So
you get
it
to
always
connect to
used to
their
be
pro
it
server.
always used to be SUSE and Red Hat being the
Just in
major
Red Hat.
players in this.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Hmm.
not even sure if SUSE still does it because they've been taken over half a dozen times since Novell departure.
What would happen if somebody takes mine and spin a new company out of it? Is that legal?
Well, I
Uh,
ended.
technically, there is a paragraph in the terms of services saying that you will not replicate um, mines
That's kind of an oxymoron.
Show
outside of
me.
the license agreement.
Wait, show me the license agreement because I'm about to do just that, right?
Well, I mean, they promoted
I'm
it.
just going to look.
Yeah,
They promoted it like that's what you. That's what
yeah.
you know what I mean? Put it
Before,
on a server and blah blah blah. So
before I
Uh,
think they took it away now, but before they just say you can just if you deploy your own, then it's free, right? The
actually,
net, the network
yeah,
stuff.
this is a issue with the terms of service. 3.8 says you must not hold prohibited users. You shall not use or access any of these services to substantially replicate products or services offered by mines in an impersonating manner, including by republishing mines content or creating a separate publishing platform.
change the name.
Yeah, by creating a separate publishing platform.
Terms of service, which paragraph?
3.8. 3.8.
3.8. Okay. All right. Three, prohibited use, basically. Section 3 is all
Mm.
about use. Maybe you can put it up on the stream there, Roger. We can
You
read
got the
through it.
link.
Yeah.
Pop that.
Uh,
Minds.com slash
I'll pop it
P
up in the
slash.
chat.
the slash terms there.
And I'll
Yeah.
put it up on the chat. There we go. Oh, you want me to scroll down, or are you guys cool with just that?
Are you sharing it on this? Let me see. You're not sharing on the stream yet?
Yeah, it's probably not live.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Gotta give it a second. Man,
Yeah, okay. See it now.
Rumble.
Scroll down to section 3. Okay.
Let me,
Prohibited use.
Section 3. Prohibited use. This is
Go
the
down.
good
There's a
stuff.
section number. There's a section number. This is just the gist, which is like too long, did not read kind of thing. Page down. Some more.
Prohibited
How many
uses.
times have I read this?
Yeah.
You shall not use access of any of these services. 1. In any way that violates the applicable United States federal, state, or local law, rule, or regulation, including without limitation any intellectual property laws or privacy laws or laws regarding sanctions on the export of data or software to and from the United States or other countries. That hurt just saying it.
Okay. Ah,
That hurt.
creating that kind of like the 3.8 is kind of fishy, right? We're not replicating their services,
Yeah,
doing
basically
our
all
own.
creating a separate publishing platform.
Yeah. Hmm.
Clause is
What do you
the
think
issue.
about that? Does
I've
that
not
prohibit?
noticed it before, or I haven't
Yeah.
thought about it in this sense before. But yeah, if they're allowing people to redeploy mine servers,
Redeploy it, yeah, and put it
that
in your
is
own name.
invalid.
Just
Yeah, but it's clause 83.8 is invalid,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
or at least that second part is.
Yeah. That kind of catch all thing that just stop everybody from doing their stuff.
Mind you, saying that, how many times have how long have I been waiting for 7.5 to be resolved? The sort of tokens issue. Been waiting 3 years for that to be resolved, and I've
7.5.
noticed, and I've yet to write a GitLab ticket for this, but the support site, the mine support site, has been updated with a new chat route.
Okay,
Whatever.
but back to 8 though. I'm still trying to interpret it in the sense
Okay.
that it says you're not you're prohibited to substantially replicate products or services offered by mines in an impersonating manner.
Yeah, see, that's what caught my eye. That's what I was saying. Change the name.
Ah, okay. Read it slightly different. Services offered by mines in an impersonating manner,
Yeah.
including republishing man's content or creating a separate publishing platform, as in to impersonate.
Yeah, see,
Right.
that's called
Right.
cloning.
Uh,
Right.
If
So
you
okay.
create a clone
we're
website.
doing our own thing. We're not replicating mine services at all. We're not impersonating any user
Yeah.
profile on.
Yeah, it's the way you read this sentence. It can be misinterpreted easily.
Yeah. So I mean, creating, republishing the content or creating separate publishing platform relating to the fact of impersonating the original mine service, right?
Right.
That's sensible to prohibit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if you're creating your own node, your own instance off of the internet, doing your own thing, then I don't see why it would be prohibited. Otherwise, it would be uh,
no, the only thing I can see is sort of branding trademark issues.
yeah. I guess that if somebody does this, and well, they definitely have to start a legal conversation with Minds Inc., right?
Mm-hmm.
If if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna, I don't know. What is the license saying if they have to do? If somebody's looking to do that.
The license is AGPL,
Okay.
general AGPL, so really just all the source.
It's AGPL. Okay. So does that mean we have to mention Minds Inc. in somewhere in our deployment?
Yeah, generally in the header, it will be included already in the
Like
headers.
RogerHansen.com, powered by Minds Inc. or something. Powered by Minds Inc. technology or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't actually need to be physically displayed to the end user, as long as it's replicated within the source
Take
code.
it and write it under the header in small writing, like
and
you
the
said.
footer.
Yeah.
The footer.
Like I say, it doesn't necessarily need to be displayed. AGPL is really related to the source code being provided as is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna be hiding. We're not gonna take an open source project and turn it into proprietary. It's still open source.
Okay, I got something. I got something. Hey,
Didn't
hold on.
Trump,
Hold
the
on, guys.
Trump's electorate tried to do that?
No, we've got to get this in before the hour, and this is very, very important. Okay, the Mind's new chat.
Yes. Let's talk about the Mind's new chat.
That's got to be talked about.
So Mind's old chat is going away. The Matrix chat. You want to show a glimpse of the new chat?
Yeah, I can do it. Let me go and get on the proper area where we need to go.
Yeah.
And
I won't say that the mine's old chat is going to go away anytime soon. We've had that confirmed.
I think, well, right now the new chat is in alpha release. As soon as the new chat goes GA, which could be never.
It could be end of next. Yeah. But yeah, well, you know the sort of. Well, I had a debate with you the other day on Canaries about this, and yeah.
I'm kind of stricken. You know what I mean? I'm kind of in the middle of it because, I mean, how many times have you heard me bitch and yell about how I used to love the freaking original version of Minds? You know what I mean? And then they go and they freaking put this up and they're wanting to take away this. I've already gotten attached to the new freaking chat, and I really do like you know, being on here and hanging out with everybody. But at the same time, they do need to make improvements, like we were talking about earlier. You know, I think they deployed it way too early.
Well, that's what I said the other day. When I went on that bit of a rant.
And I forgot all about the porn.
And my argument was that it's okay to release early so long as you update often, right?
Yeah.
It's been 2 weeks. There's no new feature being updated.
Well, the thing that annoys me the most is, like, you know how I forgot who it was that gave me the link to freaking go into canary mode, but I did it, and I have no clue how to get my minds out of freaking canary now. It's still,
you go there and you turn it off. It's the same link.
Where was the link? That's the.
Well, if you go to the main site. Off of the left sidebar.
Like, it's still in canary mode.
It's still, you can turn it off canary mode. So you go scroll down on your page there. Scroll down all the way to the bottom on the left side navigation bar.
More. In settings, maybe?
No, not in setting. It's right at under more.
No, I have create.
Right at the bottom where you see content policy, privacy, affiliates, mobile.
It's not there.
Minds.com/canary.
Okay, hold up,
maybe. Oh, you see, I can see it. I can see it on your screen. Let's see canary mode. I can see it on your screen.
See, it's right there. And I've got create down below.
No. Click back on more.
Okay.
You're just sharing your screen on your stream. That's why it's kind of delayed. We're not seeing your screen share.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Canary mode.
Yeah.
Okay. You found it.
Disabled. There we go.
There you go.
See? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're actually watching, you know how to get your minds out of canary mode.
There you go, right at the more, and then under those little fine print, there's canary mode. Keep it highlighted for there.
Failing that, type in your address bar https://www.minds.com/canary.
The direct link. Minds.com/canary. You don't need HTTPS.
Well, to give it a full address.
Yeah.
Full name.
Oh,
the
wow.
browser will auto-address you.
I'll never use that again. That traumatized me because
How come? What happened?
I didn't know how to get out.
You seeing extra porn or?
No, I was talking about the chat when it comes to that. Remember when they
Oh,
put in that? We were talking
so
about
blame,
that
right?
the other day. Whenever they put that chat in on mine's platform, and like,
Okay, so click on that chat to show your viewers how the new chat looks. We intended to go there and we never did.
so this is the chat area. It's in alpha now.
No,
Eh,
no. Oh. On your stream is you're still in Canary.
Yeah. Now I can screen share if you guys want to see it.
You don't. No, no. We just need to, be
Show the.
up to speed on where you are, so we can talk to it. It's like a 15-second delay of looking at your stream and then
Yeah.
commenting and what you're doing.
This one right here is the chat that I've set up for us. It's got Austin, you, Dan, and Mark on there with Mr. Robot.
Hmm.
Now, the only downfall I see about all this stuff is like if I wanted to freaking add new people, I would have to literally start another freaking chat session.
Yeah. Well, I hope we'll keep that chat there. Hopefully, they will add the ability to add new members to a current chat soon.
Like freaking that is. I mean, I think it'll be okay, but I still don't like the idea that they're closing out the new chat. You know what I mean? Or this chat.
Again,
Yeah.
until we get confirmation of that, this one out.
Don't get me started. I've been holding out. I've been a good boy, man. I want to know about the conversation, and I'll say conversation, but that was pretty rowdy.
Conversation.
Yeah, it was like he did you hear that stuff he said? You hear that stuff he said in freaking chat? He's like, we were having. For you to call it a nerd fight is just a little bit too much. It was a conversation, and I was like, dude, for you to call it a conversation, it seemed a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Show that chat. Show that chat snippet because you will never be able to see the Matrix chat ever again.
Yeah. Are you talking about the one I had with him today, or the?
Yeah, today.
Okay.
Not. Well, or if you want to show the cat fight
I
chat, you
could.
can do that too.
Yeah, we could do that between Tron and Billy the Kid.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Glad you didn't see mine and Fran's private discussion in between that. Yeah.
Oh, mine and yours were very civil, Mark. So,
Yeah, indeed. But
Let's see if he went in. Most likely, Bill went in and deleted all of his shit.
no, I don't think.
I bet you. Oh, there he is. It'll take it. This is where you've decided
Wait. What are you showing on the stream? It's all blank.
you're
Are you sharing the window?
it should be showing the.
It's like
Oh
the
wait.
Jitsi window.
Yeah, I'm showing the Jitsi window.
The Jitsi window is overshadowing it.
Let me. I could probably.
That's why you need me here, Roger. Keep your stream in check.
Now we got it.
Yeah.
Good call. Now we've got it. All right, here we go. The big fight. And see, I had a debate with freaking Robot over the term nerd and geek, okay? Because like he's from New Zealand and he doesn't understand the concept of freaking geeking out.
Robert's from Australia.
Or Australia, yeah.
Yep.
And he doesn't understand the concept about geeking out. Like, and I had to actually talk to somebody who straightened me out on it too. Like, being a geek isn't just like comic books and stuff like that. Back in the day, it was geeking out on something, you know what I mean? Whereas nerd is specifically for computers. You know, like you can geek out on comic books. Like Stephen King geeked out on horror stories.
Okay.
You know, things like that.
Okay.
I was almost right about
Right.
it.
Right. So robot knew the origin of the word nerd.
No, he thought the geek meant freaking just computers. I'm like, no, dude. Being a geek is completely separate than being a nerd. Like, freaking being in a nerd fight is like just a step up from a girl fight. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
except there ain't no slapping and stuff.
Encyclopedia of Britannica. Did you go there? The bizarre origins of the words nerd and geek.
They have an article.
Yeah. You want to share?
Yeah, share it.
Share.
That would be cool. That would be cool. This one's for you, Mr. Robot. The nerd and geek have similar etymologies, with neither originality having much positive association, according to Benjamin Nugent, author of American Nerd: The Story of My People.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Right. Keep going.
And the word nerd first appeared in Dr. Seuss's book If I
There you go.
Ran to the Zoo, in which one of the zoo creatures, an angry little old man, was called a nerd. Nugent,
A zoo creature was an old man.
an angry little old man was called a nerd.
Okay. Okay.
So Nugent also notes in 1951 Newsweek article using the word nerd to refer a drip or a square, which gets closer to modern stereotypes regarding nerds.
Okay. He's a square.
So geek was originally an early 20th century term for a carnival worker who was so unskilled that the only thing the worker could do at the carnival was entice an audience was to bite
To bite
off
off the heads
heads.
of live animals.
There we go. Essentially, a geek was a socially undesirable person who lacked any skills or ability. There we go.
Okay, so a geek is someone who lacks social skill.
That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, the IT professionals saying things like that.
And then the nerd is what again?
The nerd is a
A
freaking
square.
a square. Yep.
Yeah. An interesting person, or it's kind
Well,
of similar, isn't it?
squares back in that day weren't really freaking admired too much, like not by the beatniks, you know what I mean? You had to be cool and hip and say poetry and stuff and snap your fingers, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay.
1950s. Yeah.
Almost socially undesirable as well, right?
yeah,
Kind of. Yeah.
these days, man, freaking it's cool to be a nerd, you know what I mean? Back then,
Yes, that's right. That's right.
back
I
then,
thought that it's cool to be a geek too.
well, geek is a completely different category though. Like that's what I was trying to say. Like, have you ever watched Men in Black with that one dude that had the comic book store, and him and his girlfriend were sitting upstairs, and freaking his mom was living downstairs and shit, and he owned the comic book store. And when they were done talking to him, they did that flash on him and told him to forget about it. And then Will Smith tells him, "You need to take your girlfriend to freaking like Cayman Islands and everything, and change your life, and move out of the house." So after he come to, he picks up the shovel and yells for his mom and starts walking downstairs, you know, because that was his way of freaking changing his life and moving to the Cayman Islands. He'd have to kill his mom first.
Oh man.
Yeah. So,
And that's what a geek is?
well, comic books, people who are into comic books, they geek out on it. And then, like, people who geek out on freaking horror stories, like I was saying, with Stephen King. And then you have
Okay.
people who
Actually, funny enough, I've got a friend who owns a comic book
D&D. D&D's another one.
store. I wouldn't actually call him a geek as well. No.
Who?
My friend who owns a comic Bristol.
Yeah. Yeah.
What people call him a geek as well?
No, I wouldn't call him a geek. I
Or
would
wouldn't call him
call
a geek.
him a geek. Yeah.
Right.
I'm okay
It
with it.
sounds like a geek is somebody who spends an excessive amount of time and energy on a particular interest. Yeah.
Yeah. Masturbation especially.
You're just bastardizing the term now, man.
I'm sorry. It is a part of the process, though.
See the pun? See the pun?
It is a part of the process, though. Well,
Okay.
believe it or
Right.
not, man, we actually made it to an hour.
Yeah. How was that? Was that a stretch? Was that a struggle?
Not really.
Yeah, I think we did it naturally.
I,
There's
I,
more stuff to talk about, but
Mhm. I was really amazed that we got it done, though. I didn't even realize it was an hour already, to be honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah,
We actually pulled it off.
cool.
So, before we do get off here, though, I want to let everybody know that we here in about, I guess, another hour? Yeah, about another hour, we're going to be doing an interview with Minds Gaming. We'll finally,
7 Central. What time is Mind Gaming? What time zone?
it would be, he's
EST.
Pacific,
Oh,
or no,
Pacific.
EST, you're right. You're right.
EDT. No.
EST.
He's Eastern,
Yeah,
so
he's
he's on
same,
my time zone.
he's
Yeah,
same time.
he's Eastern. Yeah.
Okay.
So we
So what time?
it'll be in another hour.
So 8 p.m. Eastern.
Right. And if you guys want to come in, man, this is gonna be good. I'm gonna record that one though. We're not gonna stream it.
I'm sorry. I thought he said an hour from just before we started it first. We start. Oh, okay. No, we start at the top of the hour. Uh, oh, okay. No. Oh no, that's you. Sorry. Yeah, I'm getting confused now.
What is he using? He's using his own bridge.
Well, right now, that's one
Mm.
thing that I was gonna bring it up with my talking points about hubs, but then I was able to get Minds Gaming to agree to come on with us. Like, this is gonna be cool because like our second interview is going to be with freaking Minds Gaming, and you guys know how I am when it comes to Minds. I've been searching him down for the last 8 months,
Yeah.
you know. So
Alright.
this is, and I was like, man, freaking
So, but where are we doing it on Jitsi or where?
yeah, we're gonna do it on Jitsi. He posted a link.
Okay.
He posted a link
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
He
Sounds like he's
he posted
proposing.
half a link.
for
He posted half a URL. He
Looks
gave
me.
the he gave the sort of platform's address, but it doesn't give a real more session address syntax.
and that one is
Yeah.
it's glitch
Right.
me.
Mm.
Yeah, that's just a main site address. He needs like a session link for us to join.
Yeah.
And um, after we get that done, I think we're gonna have a lot of good information on that. Kind of catch up and see what Minds has been doing. Him and Satori D have been working on some projects together. And from what I've seen, I mean, Mark's seen it too, you know, but I think it's actually pretty interesting, you know, the direction he went with everything. So,
With the Mint token?
well, with the
No, with the VRML project.
Oh,
he's got
Which is,
he's got so much to going on in there, man. It's amazing. It's like you're freaking going into a whole freaking techno freaking weirdo world of freaking just craziness.
Does he have his own website now? Because he hasn't been active on mine for a while. I think he started becoming active
he
now.
has been active, but he has been a lot quieter recently.
But I mean, he in the past couple of years he has been, but recently he's been a little more active in the last few weeks,
Yeah.
couple of days.
He
Since the
was quite a big player within the NCRSI and also within the community health support rooms that we created.
And it's important too to have Mark in here because what he's not telling you is him and frickin' Mines actually did a lot of stuff together concerning Mines back whenever they.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
definitely need to have him and Mark in here together because you used to think that they're the same person, right?
Well, no, at one time, but I thought that Bill Altman was disguising himself as Bill
Okay.
as Mines. But now I believe that Bill Altman is a AI generated version of himself. He's Bill Altman died a long time ago, and his college buddies created a.
What is these conspiracies sounds very familiar.
I've
Like
watched movies.
they used to have a conspiracy that Ho Chi Minh died when he went to China,
Mhm.
and they replaced them with a body double
Uh huh.
and sent him back to
Yeah, I
Vietnam
remember
to
also
start the communist.
wasn't
Elvis.
it Saddam Hussein that was famous for
Oh, that
was
too?
meant to be,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Man.
also, there was rumors about Stalin having, or was it Stalin? Yeah, Stalin having a body double.
Yeah, and then if you have Mr. Robot, he would say that they were all abducted by aliens and replaced with
Well, that
alien counterparts.
I'm sure it wouldn't be that
Yeah.
clear cut and precise. He would have some elaborate thing that got complicated real quick.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Because Mr. Robot's a wild man. He has to plan his theories out in advance.
Wow, man.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Kind of miss him not being here. He should be in one of our tech talks.
yeah, I think he'll come back in sooner or later, but he just needs to behave and understand that he can't be saying certain words because.
You want to be buddy with Google?
Well, I don't want my freaking channel to get kicked off the freaking internet because he said the one word they didn't want to hear. You know what I mean? It was like
Did you confirm that that was the word that caused you to get?
that was the last word that was said the moment the video cut off. Okay, it cut off right after he said the word.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean they wasted no time. He said the word and bam, it was gone. Literally, like after I went in to check, I had to they show you the video. Okay,
Well, you got 10 viewers watching on your Rumble stream.
cool.
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 All right, time to get out.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who did watch us, and thank you to Tan and Mark Edworthy for showing up to get everything going again. And like I said, when we do these from now on, just bring some talking points. And you don't have to get complicated. Just write down a couple notes of things you want to talk about, and we can just have a conversation like this. I enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's the good things to be said about improvisation, but I would probably keep on, if I need to talk about something, I'll just put it out there on the chat before we get on, so you guys can,
Yeah.
pre-brainstorm what you want to discuss.
Well, I'm pretty much see-through. You guys already knew what I was going to talk about. I'm pretty sure you were. I really did want to talk more about Edworthy's freaking fight. That was just so cool, dude. I haven't seen a freaking nerd fight in years, dude.
It was a professional disagreement.
Yes. I thought it was.
You were fairly confrontational, I'd say that, Mark. And then I admire that you had no problem challenging Bill Ottman.
Yeah.
So,
And you had every right to do it because you were trying to be a gentleman about it and keep it professional. So I just found it amazing that Bill Altman just acted like a sissy and freaking just completely had a freaking
Yeah.
meltdown like he did. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't understand us hard-working programmers.
Well, if you see
Yes.
things from his perspective, all he could have just come off of like putting off a huge fire on on that mine server farm, and then you unload on him.
Please. I've been I've been in the industry shy shy of a couple months of 30 years now,
Hmm.
and I've been in all kinds of environments, and for him to go down that route was
It was,
laughable.
and the whole argument started over professionalism. To be fair, I mean that was what Mark brought up, was trying to be professional, especially if you're freaking the one who is the founder of Minds. You shouldn't really be
Yeah,
presenting
precisely. He's the
yourself.
CEO. He has, there's this weird thing going on, especially with American CEO, social media CEOs at the moment, where they seem to act childish.
Hmm.
Um, take the Elon Musk, what was he was threatening to have a fight with Bill Gates or something a couple months
No,
ago.
no, Mark Zuckerberg.
Well,
Oh,
good.
Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah,
Somebody need to
Yep.
yeah.
punch that
These are
sucker in the
these
mouth.
are meant to be bloody professional CEOs.
Somebody needs to punch Mike Zuckerberg right in the freaking mouth. Seriously.
You sound like a liberal now.
Mike
You sound
Zuckerberg,
like
Mike Zuckerberg isn't liberal though. You know what I'm saying? Well,
no, no,
he
no.
isn't
You sound like a
conservative.
liberal. Like, who's that guy that wanted to punch Donald Trump in the face?
Well,
One of the actors.
I I I mean that's just, I mean, you can't be punching Donald Trump in the face, dude. That's his money
Oh, you
maker.
punch him in the nuts.
Yeah, that might be acceptable, but his face is his money maker. You can't be.
Oh, Robert De Niro was the guy.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, I saw
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
what's it
yeah,
a Rubin
yeah.
report on him just a couple of nights ago. He was reviewing an interview between
That
Who's
would
that?
that would actually be cool.
MSBCN and De Niro.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeing De Niro threaten freaking Donald Trump would just be freaking cool as hell. Can you imagine the conversation?
You talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, we better get off of here before
Yeah,
we
let's get out
cause.
of here, man.
I
We're
was,
getting nutty.
yeah, I was just talking bad about robot and everything, and now all of a sudden. So I will talk to you guys later. You have a
See you
good one.
next time.
Now,
Bye.
Will do. Will do.